Okay. Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 10th, I believe. And we have had a lot of technical difficulties this week with the online office and changes in our plan for our weekly chat. But we're going to hold off and do 2 weeks of recognition next week because none of the recognition reports are being pulled up. And according to that, I have 124 new coaches in my organization this week. Holla. So things are a little wonky. So we will go ahead and do double recognition next week, which is exciting. And then tonight we were going to do a working power hour based on the vital behaviors training that Dina did last week. But instead, I thought it would be a good idea to take a deeper look. Like Tyler, I think, described it to me as like kind of taking the second part of the Success Club system tracker under the microscope. And so tonight, that is what I am going to share about. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, just some days to remember as far as the new 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix live streams. If anyone is wanting to, I am running a second Ultimate Portion Fix group this month. Prep will technically start Monday, and then our day one would be April 29th if anyone would like to jump in that themselves or invite people to that. And then just one thing to touch on this calendar is we have the upcoming 7-day sugar detox week starting on the 22nd and running for 7 days. So that is a free opportunity that you can invite others to. And then if we go ahead and take a look at May, Kelsey messaged me today actually, and she has started working on that free week with the Mexican theme for Cinco de Mayo, and she has lots of awesome cleaned up Mexican dishes and cocktails. So really excited for that coming up in May. And then we'll touch on calls at the end of this call as well, but just a reminder that the next 2 weeks we have guest speakers. So next week we have Bailey Kai, and the following week we have Jackie Hart rescheduled from last week. So tonight, I'm going to go ahead and share about this second part of the Success Club system tracker. And this is actually something I am sharing on Jackie's team call on Tuesday. And so I thought I would just run it over with all of you because it's honestly probably one of the most important pieces if you're wanting to grow your coaching business and help more people. So it's connecting, inviting, and following up. And if you're looking at your Success Club system tracker, it's that part 2 that you see right there in the picture. So this is like the meat of our business. According to the tracker, this is where like we should be spending about 1 hour and 40 minutes of our day. And this is because of that, like it's your biggest portion of your focus time as a coach. And if this part is hard for you or uncomfortable for you, if connecting with others and inviting others to join you join you on your journey, on their own journey, I like to think of it as that's the thing that we need to do first. Eat that frog. So do the thing that is the least appealing to us, the thing that we dread, the thing that maybe produces a little bit anxiety. Do it first and get it out of the way. So we're going to go over each of these 6 little sections, and I'm just going to explain to you how I do it in my business. Now, I primarily run a lot of my business on Facebook just through my Facebook profile. I also do have a like page, and I just double post to it. I am building my Instagram, but I will admit that sometimes I let the start stop me there. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking to you about is what I have done on Facebook, what's working for me, and then what I'm starting to do on Instagram. Okay, so that first section is initiating connections and adding followers. Okay, so every day you want to be growing your network. And this is something I did not do at the beginning. And it's also something I tell my new coaches that I regret and I wish I could go back and do it. I had a very large warm market, and that lasted me a really long time. And I had lots of new clients through that. But what happened is when I had helped all of my friends and family and all the people I worked with and all the people I went to school with, all of a sudden I was kind of out of people, and my business really went through some growing pains because I wasn't making those new connections. So what I do is every day on Facebook, I am adding at least 20 new friends. And honestly, I've done that lots of different ways. I've done it through Facebook groups. I was never very good at that, but I just add people that I have more than six mutual friends with. And I don't know why I picked that number of 6, but that aren't just like friends with a bunch of other coaches. I don't want to take anyone else's warm market. And in that point, I'm not really looking for just like people who look like me. I'm just kind of adding a lot of them because I know not everyone will accept. And I know I can also go later and unfriend if I need to, if I find out they're not my people, if I find out that there's no way they would be interested in what I have to offer. I'm not here to convince anyone. So if I see that someone else is like selling wraps, I probably don't have a lot in common with them because I believe in living a healthy lifestyle. I don't believe in like a magic pill. So I'm not there to convince anyone. So I would probably not add them if I see that or unfriend them. And then on Instagram, following new accounts every day. And I'm going to show you what I have been doing recently. And if you have watched the Success Club System videos, this is Amy Rada's method of how she is following new accounts every day. Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
Okay, so I am going to actually just go to the next slide and show you how she does that. So she uses this like Be Colorful wheel before she even starts. And I used to call it the 5 buckets, like the 5 things about you. But sometimes 5 isn't enough. And so this is a little bit bigger, a little bit broader. But it's just that you are full of light and you're colorful and you have your own personality. And so the idea is to fill up that circle, each one of those little pies, about something about you. So it could be a hobby, an interest, something about your family, something you enjoy, something that makes you unique. A lot of these are the things maybe we type in our profile on Instagram. So my wheel would be like boy mom of 2, lives in a camper in the summer, lake lover, ice cream fanatic, faith, coffee mug obsessed, hoodies and leggings, fuzzy socks, lately like Financial Peace University, just things like don't relate to health and wellness. So like all of those things would be in that color wheel. And what that allows you to do is, 1, it gives you ideas with who to connect with. And then it also gives you ideas with what to post on. So you're going to think about that color wheel. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to the other slide. But on Instagram, you're going to go ahead and think of those topics and you're going to follow new accounts based on those hashtags. So I might follow or go search the hashtag like boy mom of 2, and I would look for people in there who look like me, like I would have a lot in common with them. And then I'm going to go ahead when I find those people and I'm going to do the 5-3-1. So I'm going to find that person. I'm going to go and like 5 of their photos. I'm going to leave 3 genuine comments on their grid, and then I'm going to follow them. And so you can pick a number on Instagram and do that every day for so many people. Like Amy Rada does 50 a day. I know Micah Folsom does 200. Like those numbers are crazy. But you can just start with 3, 5, 10, whatever you're going to do. But just think about the things you're interested in and find your tribe. Whereas on Facebook, I'm kind of not necessarily looking for my tribe, but I know I will attract them through like my attraction marketing. So that's just kind of how they're different. And then how to initiate those conversations with those new followers. So every day when I'm sending those new friend messages and I'm getting people to follow my page, or after I've done the 5-3-1, then I'm going to send them a message and connect with them. And so every new friend or follower, I send them that little message. Another thing I do every day is I get in people's inbox through happy birthday messages. So rather than posting on their wall, I actually send them a happy birthday message. And I found like this is a couple of things. One, my goal is just to be the light. And I can do that by sending someone a birthday greeting. It is so simple. And two, when we get inside people's inboxes, they'll be more likely to open up and talk to us and be like, oh yeah, I see Lindy post about that all the time. I've been meaning to ask her about that new step program she was doing, or that recipe she posted. And then also with the algorithm, when we're in people's inboxes, they're more likely to see our stuff. Another way to initiate conversations is everyone who is liking my posts that have to do with like being vulnerable or my journey. I'm sending them a message and I'm thanking them for supporting me on their journey. So what I do is in my notes on my phone, and my iPhone is linked to my computer, so I can do these from my phone or my computer, but I just have a list of scripts, but they're not icky because I wrote them. So they sound like me. Yes, they save me time. Yes, I personalize them for each message I send, because two things. One, I want to be genuine, and I want to truly connect with these people. And two, Facebook doesn't like when you send too many messages all at once, which is going to happen if you copy and paste. So an example of like a new friend message I might send would be like, hey, so-and-so, and then I'm going to comment something about them, but I'll just say like, hope you're having a good day so far. Saw we had quite a few mutual friends on Facebook. Thought we would have a lot in common so we could be connected on here. Hope you have a great rest of the week. A birthday message. Hey, just wanted to stop by and wish you a happy birthday and wish you a great year ahead. Do you have big plans? Hope you're having a good week. So I try to always ask a question because then they're likely to get back to me, and it's not just like a closed-ended conversation. As far as like a thanks for the support message, I might say, I'm just kind of looking here. Hey, hope you had a really great day. Thanks so much for tuning into my live video last night. Even though I try to go live often, it's nice to know when someone is watching. Hope you're having a great week. When I post a transformation, I always thank people because sometimes those are really hard to post. And so I just tell them that. Like, saw you liked my transformation post. Those are really hard to share. So thank you so much for your support on that. I don't even really necessarily that first time ask them if they're on a health and wellness journey. I just thank them. And then I don't do this next thing every day, but I just initiate connections with people who I see on Facebook who might need a light in their life. They might post that they need prayers. They may post that they're going through something. Anything like that, I might just shoot them a little message to let them know I'm thinking of, because that is my main mission, is who can I be the light for today? And so many people have come back to me and said, like, I noticed that you are always so positive. And then we can have those connections about some of those hard things. So that is how I am connecting with people and adding followers. Okay, the next part of that Success Club system tracker, where the main portion of our day as a coach should be spent, is like at least one social media post every day about your lifestyle. So that doesn't just mean every day you're like, oh, day 1 of 21, I did total cardio fix today or whatever. But instead you want to connect with people about that healthy lifestyle. So instead of just telling about your workout, lead with these questions. How can I inspire? How can I motivate? How could I teach? How could I lead by example? And rather than just telling your story, put people into your story. So instead of like just saying, like talking about like let's say you were on the struggle bus and having a hard day, and you got to be like, you post like that may say something like, oh, you have to be stronger than your excuses. And, like all of those like one-liners that we use as coaches, but instead actually paint the picture of what was going on. And so like I overslept. My kids woke up on the wrong side of the bed. We were running late all morning. I really didn't want to do my workout, but I know I have to be stronger than my excuses. So I drank my Go Juice. I laced up my shoes. I got my workout in because I had a community of other people counting on me. And that's what this has done for me. It has turned me from someone who used to give up on myself to someone now who follows through because I know other people are watching me or something like that. But just put yourself in the shoes of the people who need what you're offering. So think about what pain points they have. Who are they? What are they struggling with? And oftentimes they're the things that you used to struggle with or that you're even struggling with right now. And then this is the next part where do as I say, not as I do, is have a plan for your social media. And actually, I'm trying this week in particular to be a lot better with this. I was so good at it last year, where every Sunday I sat down and I planned out at least the one post for a day that was about my healthy lifestyle. I didn't plan all of them out, but I did plan one a day. And it was all around like a theme. And then I just got out of the habit of it and I'm trying to get back in. So I'm going to just give you an idea of what this week's is. So it should just have a focus. It's kind of like your marketing plan. So since Ultimate Portion Fix is kind of like the thing right now, and I know coming back from vacation, I struggled with meal plan and meal prep, and we kind of left last week to chance. And we did okay, but we could have done better. What I did this week is Tyler and I sat down and we're like, hey, let's try all these new recipes. We're bored with what we're eating. Let's show people how delicious, how tasty, how family approved this can be. So we looked for recipes that we would like. We made a grocery list. We went shopping. And now every night this week, we're having one of those different meals. And then I'm sharing about it. So last night, I shared about our Monday meal. And I just asked other people if they're struggling with meal planning. I showed the containers. And I just highlighted yesterday all of the resources we had, how we had 2 cookbooks, how we had a cooking show, how we have meal plans and recipes that the coaches write, whatever. And I just showed them that the meal is sustainable. Tonight, I just made a post, same thing, how clean eating doesn't have to be boring. We had huevos rancheros. And then I just gave some ways that we had cleaned up huevos rancheros. Tomorrow night, my post is going to be a little different because tonight we had Lenten services. So I was in charge of bringing sandwiches. I brought, this is maybe just like a North Dakota thing, I don't know, but I brought brown bread sandwiches with cheese whiz and olives. It's like, I don't know, maybe like a Norwegian thing or something, but it's something I grew up with that I would never have in the house. But I knew I could make it for church and then be done with it. Like we wouldn't have it sitting around and then I would get to like still sample it or have it because I can do that. This is a lifestyle, not a diet. So today I did save my yellows to be able to do that at church tonight. So I'm going to share that yes, I can still go to a potluck dinner at church. I can still, go to ice cream with my kids or whatever, but I just have to eat according to my goals. Sometimes it's more dialed in, sometimes it's more relaxed, but it's always a lifestyle. It's always how we live. So that's my plan for this week. It's all about Ultimate Portion Fix and showing people how it's sustainable and it's for my family. Now, if I was really getting detailed about this, I would have next week planned already, but I don't. But just having like an idea where you're going with your week, because with social media changing, we can't do what we did when we started, like when Sarah and I started 4 or 5 years ago. We used to just like throw spaghetti at the wall and hope it would stick. It just doesn't do that anymore because social media has changed so much. So we do have to be so much more focused. And then always be giving more than you're asking for. So rather than asking for that sale all the time or asking for them to join you, be sure that you're adding value. So yes, I did provide the link to my sneak peek in my post tonight, but I showed them some of the ways that they could clean up their favorite Mexican dishes. So I'm still adding that value. Then yesterday, everyone who liked that recipe post, I actually sent them a copy of the recipe. So I'm adding that value. I'm showing up in their inbox saying like, oh, if you ever need anything else cleaned up, shoot me a message and maybe I can help you out. So doing that one social media post gives you people to follow up with. If you're not posting about your lifestyle, you don't know who's interested, because we want to be attracting people to us instead of having to go out and find everyone all the time. The next part on the Success Club System Tracker is just updating your Instagram and Facebook story every day. And these are the areas they say you should post on every day. So your daily life, a workout clip, not like your whole workout, but like a product use without like the product name, your healthy meal or meal prep. And lately I've really liked showing like what containers that meal would be. And then just every day, some sort of invitation, promoting a group or a call to action. And how I do that is just at the end of my workout, I just turn on the hands free and I just tell what's on my mind after that workout, because usually that's when like emotions are high. Usually like I'm pretty pumped up. And so I just tell them like what that workout did for me, kind of how I'm feeling and how I've changed through making time for myself, or whatever kind of my theme for the day is. And at the end, I'm like, are you ready to join me yet? And then on that last story, I will put a poll like yes or more information. I always like leave like 2 positive choices, like never like no. But just doing one of those every day. And the other thing I'm really liking to do, and I did a really good job with this right before we went on vacation for like a week, was making sure I had some sort of story, like actually telling a story every day about my journey. And I'll give you an example here on the next page. So this is the one I did last night, I believe, or maybe it was 2 days ago. And this was a shorter one, but I've done some longer ones. And I actually stole this one from Amy Rada. And I just put my pictures over hers. I've made my own. And what I do is I just screenshot them in other people's stories and tweak them. You can also make them in Canva or Story Art or on Fold. But they don't take very long at all. And then you can reuse them. So like the first slide said I have some exciting news. The second one said I've decided to run another Ultimate Portion Fix Bootcamp Round 2. I tell about it and then I'm like, are you in? And then this doesn't show on there, but on that last slide, I had a poll option. Yes, more information. And this right here gives me people that I can follow up with every day in my stories. So trying to do like one of those every day has really helped get me people in my sneak peeks. And then you can just save it and then use it down the road too. And then doing some sort of recognition or shout out to someone in your life, someone in your groups. A lot of times I just screenshot the My Challenge Tracker app and shout someone out that way. And the idea when we do that is that when we're tagging each other, we can add that to our story and we're showing that this is a community. And I don't know how to get my people to do it better. I think even as coaches within our own community, we need to do a better job of it. But like when we're on a team call and we all tag each other and then we share it to our stories, we want to add it to our stories based on whatever they said so that people see that like we're not just in this alone. This truly is a community. Okay, the next part of this section of your focused work time is just responding to who liked, commented, and viewed your stuff. So you just want to get in people's inboxes. You want to get in their direct messages. One of my favorite ways to do this is pretty much every day. My first post of the day is a personal development post. And whatever personal development book I'm reading. For 2 years, I posted about the book Only Love Today. And that was my morning post every day for like, it was almost 2 years. And it just said Only Love Today. And it was a quote from the book. And then every person who liked or commented on that post, I sent them a message. And it said like, hey, hope you're having a good day. I saw your like on my Only Love Today post. Have you read the book too? That's it. And they're like, oh no, I didn't know it was a book. And then I would send them a picture of the cover or the page I was reading. And we have gotten to, first, a lot of people read that book because of my post and me messaging them. And two, a lot of people needed to hear that. And if I needed to hear it, someone else did too. And so right now I've just finished reading Girl Stop Apologizing, but every day I'm kind of rereading over a section and I'm posting about it. And another thing I like is the people that like these posts are oftentimes like-minded people and they already have a growth mindset. So a lot of times lately, like with Girl Wash Your Face or Girl Stop Apologizing, I notice it's a lot of other boss babes or people in network marketing or people who own a business. But I also want my social media to be filled with people who are positive and who have goals and who are the light. So I just really like that. And so right now, my posts are about Girl Stop Apologizing, but I just pick the one that's speaking to me that day. And I know it will speak to others. And like people today said that, like Sarah's like, I love this. And one of my other coach friends, like, I really needed to hear that. And when she said that, I was like, whoa, like she's struggling too. So am I. Like we can be there for each other. And then, I mean, it just has opened up so many conversations for me with people. I message everyone to thank them for their support on my wellness post. Like I said, the first time I always thank them only. If they keep showing up in likes and comments, then I send them an invite. But the first time, I just thank them. And then message everyone who's watching my story, and I thank them for watching our crazy life unfold. Okay, we're getting to the part that might be harder for people, and I go in streaks. Sometimes I can invite like a boss. Sometimes I just freeze, kind of like I just did now. And I think it just depends where my mindset is. So here is how I invite and who I invite. If anyone has ever been in a free community, I just held a spring cleaning detox one last week. All of them this week will get an invite to my next paid challenge group. I always run my free groups at the beginning of the month so that after they're done, I can send them an invite to my challenge group that used to start the third month of the week. Now I just have ongoing ones or program specific ones, but that was a really good flow for me. I go back to all of my previous sneak peek groups I've done and I re-invite those people. Like maybe they weren't ready for that particular group, but they maybe are ready the next time. Now, I know technically we're supposed to be sending new invites, but I also always invite all my old clients and discount coaches. Maybe they missed your post about a challenge group. Maybe they had something going on. I think it's also important to not just focus on more, but take care of the people you have. And sometimes that's getting people who have fallen off re-engaged. So I always am going through and thinking like, who have I not heard from a while? Who hasn't posted in a group? Who hasn't been in a group? And I'm re-inviting them because sometimes they might feel like they need that invitation again. Like I said, I am inviting everyone who's liked a wellness post after that first thank you message. So yep, the first time it's a thank you, the next time it's like, hey, I see you always supporting my journey. Like maybe you're interested in starting your own, thought of you because I have this group coming up. Here's a sneak peek. And I always send them a link to my sneak peek because then if they click that and join it, I know they're interested, one. And two, it kind of gives me a place to hold them all together. They can see information in there, but even if they end up don't look at anything in there, I've now see that they've joined the group and I have an easy way to add them to my follow-up list. Everyone who is watching my story about wellness, or they're responding to my polls or my call to actions in my stories, I am sending them an invite as well to whatever I have coming up. And then I'm keeping these all like listed in my planner too. I'm tracking, like this isn't just me sending out a ton of messages, I'm tracking who I'm having these conversations with. And then the last section is following up. So the fortune is in the follow-up. And when I say fortune, I don't like necessarily mean like the money, but you guys, this is where we can really change people's lives. People most likely are not going to say yes the first time. I used to hear like 7 times, but I just listened to a podcast today that says it takes 20 to 40 touches, like connections with someone. So that doesn't necessarily mean invites, but like they read a post, they saw a story, you messaged them about their vacation. You know, like each of those is a touch, 20 to 40 for them to be ready. So it's a lot of work. So you have to follow up with people from the past. And I have like every week a list of past invites who I have kind of like on a, I don't know, I call it my hot list of just people who were very close at one time to saying yes. So I want to be sure I'm going to their pages and liking, commenting on their stuff, as well as following up with them in an inbox or a DM. I personally make, when I'm talking with people and we get to the point of talking goals and programs and what they're ready for, I make up what a personalized health and wellness recommendation. And basically I just copy and paste the answers they gave me into a little form. And so I'm following up with, I've taken the time, I've emailed them that out, which is nice because then I have their email. But then maybe they didn't take action on it. Some of them didn't even read it, or you know how all of the things go, right? But when I follow up with them, I always refer back to what they told me their why was. So like this one gal I'm working with, she wants to feel empowered again. And when she was working out before, she felt so empowered. So when I followed up with her, I made sure I made that part of my follow-up. Like, I know you're really looking forward to that empowered feeling when you took control of your wellness last time. Are you ready this month or whatever? Anyone from past sneak peek groups, and I go like way back. I just followed up with someone who was in my first Shift Shop group, because you just never know when they're going to be ready. And I have a lot of people say like, right now is a really hectic time for me, but can you ask me next month? And so then I just go ahead in my planner and I make a note and put them on my hot list for next month. And then sometimes people click yes, they're interested, or they want more information on your polls and your call to actions and your stories, but then they never like join the group or do the thing that they said they'd do. I follow up with those people too and like say like, hey, did you see the group? Did you want me just to add you? And just see, like, sometimes we just get a lot of messages and we might be dealing with a kid, or we might be at work or going into Walmart, or whatever. And a lot of times if people are not replying back to you, it doesn't have anything to do with us. It just has to do with them and their life. It's not necessarily that you're being ghosted. And I think often that's easy for us just to say like, oh, they ghosted me. When really, like, we all know, like, life is just one big hot mess. And sometimes you miss messages. It happens to me all the time. So that is what I have on that very important part of our job of connecting, inviting, and following up with others. Hopefully that clarified, for you, some ways that you could do it in your own business. So very quickly, I want to tell you a little bit about our speaker for next week. I have a picture of her there. It is Bailey Kai. I met her through a graphics group. She truly is the graphics queen. She's currently number 109 in the network tonight. Jatana Jackson is speaking on her team call. So she is a go-getter, and she will be talking to us about how to use graphics to grow your business. And then Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, Jackie Hart, who we rescheduled from last week, is going to be talking on inviting and growing her network, kind of like I did tonight. So I like how we're hearing two different people's perspectives. Tonight you got mine, and then 2 weeks from tonight you get Jackie's. So like I said at the beginning of the call, we will go ahead and do double the recognition next week. So I will stop the share and stop recording.